Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Julie, and I'm honored to be here today to guide us through today's celebration. I'd like to welcome you all here on behalf of the Bernard family, and thank you for being with us to commemorate the life, the love, and the light that Caroline shared with all of us. It's even more clear by how many people are here today that Caroline touched many lives in her too short time with us. Given the current pandemic situation, and because Caroline has friends and family all over the world, we're going to be recording today's service so that we can share it with those who aren't able to be here to remember Caroline with us today. For those of you I haven't met, again, my name is Julie and I'm Guillermo's partner, and I've been warmly welcomed to the Bernard family for the past 3 years. While I didn't know Caroline for as long as many of you did here, I will always be grateful for her kindness and how she welcomed me and my daughter Hannah into the family. I will forever cherish the friendship and laughter that we shared. For today's program, we will have some of Caroline's family and friends sharing words and stories of remembrance. Following the speakers, I'll be back to introduce a celebration video which was lovingly created by Caroline's sister-in-law, Sharon. First, we'll have Caroline's brother, Paul, give the eulogy, which will be followed by Sharon sharing messages of remembrance. Then Guillermo will share his own memories of his Canadian sister. And after that, we'll have Alyssa, Alan, and Britt contribute their stories of Caroline. I'll turn it over to Paul now if you'd like to come up.
Good afternoon. Like Julie mentioned, my name is Paul Bernard. For those of you who don't know me, Caroline's brother of many years, still continue to be. It's funny, the other day Sharon and I were walking. We'd usually go for a little hike after work just so we keep trim and in shape. And I mentioned that I hadn't started writing anything. This was really 3 days ago, and I hadn't wrote anything on paper. It was really tough to write. We laughed and said, well, she should be doing this for me in about 30, 40 years from now. I shouldn't be here doing this, but here we are. So I said, you know what, just go up there and try to make people laugh because you're good at it. So she says I'm good at it, I'm going to give it a try, so here it goes. So before we start, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent. You know, I am currently an administrator in high school, but I'm still a teacher at heart. And it's very important that we have a little lesson first, a little Spanish lesson before we start here for you guys. So a short Spanish lesson to help describe Caroline. And this is all love, no meanness, no insulting, it comes from the heart. There's a word in Spanish that we use to describe people sometimes in a loving way, especially if you're close to them. And the word is boludo, okay? Now, Spanish has the male and female, or masculine and feminine words. So for a female, you say boluda, okay? Now, I looked up some information about this, and they say that and I quote, without a doubt, the most important word in Argentine and Uruguayan vernacular, only a fool would forsake its use. And that's what I heard. You know, knowing this word, it takes you from a tourist to a seasoned traveler if you're ever in South America. So learn this if you ever go down, because you'll fit right in. Now, the thing about this word is you have to be really careful where you use it. In the right context, it'll do wonders. In the wrong context, it'll put you in really thin ice. So you gotta be careful how you use this. And there's different ways that it's used. So you can help me out here. We're gonna try this word out together, okay? Boluda. Boluda. Very good, perfect. And because it's with love, it's not an insult, I'll tell you that right now. Because there's different ways it can be used. There's actually 7 situations you would use this word. So please know this is all in a loving way, never in an insult. So sometimes you may use the word boludo with friends. It's like saying man or dude. So you might say something like, ¿Cómo estás, boludo? That's like saying, what's up, man? So I think he's sharing when I see him. Or you can use it as an insult, and that's used to insult another person and express the same linguistic disdain as the English word asshole or dumbass. So you might say, ¿Qué te pasa, boludo? What's wrong with you, asshole? You might say that. You can talk to yourself using the word boludo. Self-direct usage would be something like, Perdí la llave, qué boludo. I lost my keys, what an idiot. You can use the word boludo when you're really irritated with somebody. Same as a self-directed usage, but directed to a third party. Viste esa boluda, casi me chocó. Did you see that putz? She almost crashed into me. You can use the word boludo to describe nonsense, and this is where it starts to make sense with Karen a little bit, to describe nonsense. So used to refer to any activity that is worthless, time-consuming, or ridiculous in nature. So envision someone sitting on the couch, eating Doritos, watching Bob Ross videos on how to paint happy trees. Someone might walk in the room and say, so boludo, no? It's like, they're putzes, right? Said they're doing this, so. It can be used as a wicked verb, like in the word like saying to mess with, to lie, to cheat. So no me boludes, don't mess with me. Or as a verb, lastly, such as to horse around or mess around, putz around. You might say something like, "¿Qué haces, boludo?" What are you doing, man? Say, "Nada, estoy boludeando." I'm just putzing around, right? So take the context you wish of the word when we talk about Caroline. And in different situations, it comes in, again, in a loving way, because this could be taken as insult, so hopefully nobody feels offended by this. But being a brother, I'm allowed to say this, because many times in life I'll pull my hair out, think about Caroline, oh my God, seriously, get frustrated. Really, describing Caroline really depends on where you're talking about her life. As a kid or a teen, she was a pain in my ass. I'm telling you, she used to drive me crazy. She'd always be hanging around my friends and me, trying to do stuff. We'd play, she'd come and always be in the way, just always around. I remember one time we were with young kids, my friend Jeff, we were playing Monopoly. We wanted to play Monopoly. So, "Hey, Caroline, go get the Monopoly game. Well, we can play together." Okay, she'd walk downstairs, get the game, bring it back up. Just kidding, get out of here. She used to get so mad. Playing outside in the snow. If you guys know her now, we're from Fort Murray, the beautiful place that it is, but very cold in the wintertime. And we'd be outside playing in the snow. She made this big snow turtle, her big turtle. Jeff went and jumped on, destroyed her turtle just to piss her off. "Oh my God, you broke my turtle!" And inside she goes, yells through my mom. My mom's like, "Okay, calm down." Another good one was as kids, I remember my dad told a story where she'd go up to him one day and say, "Can I borrow $1? "Borrow $1? Okay, yeah. What do you need $1 for?" It's like, "Oh, it's for Paul. He's reading me stories." So I kept charging her $1 to read a story until she ran out of money and she'd go borrow from my parents. So those are the things we used to do, right? The brothers do that to sisters and just be painful about each other. Now it was worse as a teenager, I tell you. She really knew how to get me going. Holy cow. I used to get so mad I'd sit there and shake. And just shake my head, had to get out of there. One time we're watching TV, it's after school, I just want to hang out and watch some TV. I turn her TV on, and she's laying in front of you, she turns it off. This is where the word boludo starts coming out, right? I turned the TV off, Caroline, turn the TV off. Caroline, turn the TV off, she turned it off. Caroline, stop, turn it, she finally grabbed the control, threw as hard as I could at her, right in the side of the head. She never told me though, we'll talk about that in a sec. I used to have a nap on the couch, this is the little later years. I'd have a nap on the couch, I'd be all curled in my blanket, and she'd come up and she'd start pulling my socks off slowly. Start pulling the sock, pull the sock, and pull the sock off. Caroline, stop that, really get mad. Pull the other sock off slowly. Stop it! And then she grabbed the blanket, pull the blanket off. I used to get so mad, drive me crazy. And she thought she was funny too, right? One day we're screwing around, she's pretending she's punching me in the face. I'm gonna hit you. No, she whacked it right in the smack of my nose. Just about broke my nose. I hit the ground like, "Caroline, you better go hide." And didn't see her for the rest of the afternoon. She locked herself in the bathroom, so I was gonna kill her. And she was really good. We were really good at driving my parents crazy. We had this thing where we loved Forrest Gump, a great movie. I think we must have seen it like 30, 40 times. But we could recite the thing word for word, literally from the beginning to the end. And we used to do it in the car in the back seat, drive my parents absolutely crazy. My dad would get so mad. I don't know if you guys know my father, when he get mad, his little eyebrows would go up, 2 little points. And you knew you were in trouble. And he'd yell us in the back seat to stop making him angry. But with all that, so we always had each other's back. I smacked her the side of the head with remote control. I had to take her arms behind her head and push her to the walls. She never told me. But we always had each other's back. So one time she went out to her friend Raylene's house. And they were sleeping over. But of course, to sleep over at Raylene's house was they'd hang out for a bit and go and party in high school. And I remember my mom found out about where Caroline was. I don't know where she is. She must be at Raylene's house, playing really dumb. She got so mad at me, but I was defending my sister, right? You don't snitch on each other. So we'd help each other out. I got caught in the line, I got in trouble, but we never told each other. And trust me, there's a lot more stuff that come up. I can tell you about one day. And then, life carries on. I went off to university, but she was still someone to talk to and hang out with, right? She'd listen and comfort me when stupid things would happen, get tough, or someone to confide in. I remember one time she came to us in Red Deer, Josh, my buddy Josh, went to university with, and we were in Josh, our prime, right? We'd say we were in our prime? Yeah. A couple of young men looking for trouble. And we're sitting there, and we're like, Caroline would laugh, she always told a story. She'd go, "Yeah, I went there, and oh yeah, let's have some nice dinner at home, we'll hang out, and Friday night we'll watch a movie," right? We're sitting around, Josh was getting antsy. Like, screw it, let's go to the bar. Come on, Carol, you're coming. She's 17 or some 16 or something like that. So we found someone who had a fake ID that looked like her. We snuck her into Billy Bob's and Red Deer, and she was a mess. I left her behind, like, we went to get a pizza, and we went to Boston Pizza. Josh watched over Caroline because she was getting sick all over the front of the bar. As we left her there, I said, you take care of it, Josh, I'm out. And I don't think we left the couch the next day. I think we spent the whole next day on the couch there. Even silly things, like, it's funny how you can talk to somebody for hours when I get bored. Like, I remember we drove off to Calgary one time for my uncle's funeral, and so you're thinking about a 10-hour car ride with somebody, right? I swear to God, it was like a 20-minute drive, just talking and being stupid and having fun. It's amazing how you can talk to somebody sometimes and just all good. Well, in our adult life, it's not that we drifted apart. I'd say we're still quite close, but life gets in the way, right? We start to, I know my friends, I don't see them, and then they show up, we see them a couple years later, say nothing ever changed. It's all the same, right? So she would do her thing, I do our thing, I text her the phone, or we see her so often. It's not going to be like I said, we drift apart, we just, we see each other, it's like nothing happened, like no time had passed whenever we see each other. We'd get together again, and we'd annoy my parents like crazy, laugh, be boludos together, right? Make everyone angry. We would celebrate each other, support each other in things that are difficult, we'd celebrate when things were going well. So we were always there, right? It didn't matter. Another way I can describe Caroline is her oblivious innocence. I don't know if it's a good way to describe it. If you know Caroline, her oblivious innocence, right? Oh my God, she's just, I know, no, Space Cadet's too mean. Let's go with the innocence part. So one year she joined me and Sharon down in San Diego. Sharon used to work down there in the summer, so we all went down together one year just for fun. And she just had a car accident. So she wasn't running and stuff as much. She wasn't allowed because of her back. And she was backed up like no one's business, if you know what I'm saying. So you can imagine me, I go downstairs to the ice machine, I come up and I walk in the room, and there's Carol laying on her back. And Sharon sitting there pumping her legs. Trying to get something to move. And what's going on here? And they, Carol, I need some help, I can't go to the bathroom. We were watching TV one day, and there, the hotel room, we see, we're to Vegas at this point, went to Vegas too from San Diego. And, oh my gosh, it was annoying. We're sitting there, it's probably 2 in the morning, me and Shirley, I'm done, I gotta go to bed. I can't be up anymore. Carol's, no, let's go party, let's go go some fun in Vegas. No, Caroline, go to bed. Fine, I go by myself, she takes off. So I got my sister, I'm trying to protect her right around Vegas, doing God knows what. She freaked the hell out of us, remember that? And then she came back and, oh, just kidding, I'm back. I was so mad. So that same trip, we're watching TV in the hotel room, we see, ooh, Area 51, that's close to here, I always want to see that. Let's go to Area 51, let's go check it out. So we jump in the car, we drive out to the middle of nowhere, Nevada, we go see Area 51. We walked about as far as we could, we saw 2 Humvees coming straight for us at full speed. We got so scared, we jumped in the car and ran away. I think there's some pictures of that trip actually coming up where we were at Area 51 being idiots out there having fun, looking for aliens. That same trip, still the same trip. We're going home, and we're going through security. This is where that oblivious innocence, Bolula comes in. We get to security, and, being an adult, we know that there's rules. You cannot take water bottles on a plane, right? Metal objects they look for. So we're getting close to the front of the line. Caroline, give me water bottles on you? Oh yeah, I got 1. Looks at her purse. I got 2, actually 3. She pulled out 5 water bottles, half drank her bag. It's like, Caroline, I'm going through security. Okay. And she's trying to drink all 5 water bottles before she goes through the line. I'm like, no, throw them out. It's okay, I'll get you water. Oh my God. So we get to security line. Guy goes, any metal objects? No, I'm good. No, Sharon, any metal? Caroline, yes. She pulls in her bag, I kid you not. She pulled a full-size Ziploc bag of change. Like quarters and pennies and nickels and dimes. The guy looks like, what is wrong with you? That's Caroline, though. And I kid you not, we were packing up the stuff the other day. I found 6 or 7 bags of change around the house. Full of quarters, I don't know why. Things like that, I didn't even lately, she bought a new car. And it's kind of funny, we're sitting around, it's like, you like a new car, Carol? Yeah, you know it can do this, this, and this, right? Really? Yeah, did you look at the manual? No. Not even bother, just drive it. And then, I think it was, it was typical of her responses sometimes. Yeah, I have to do that. Yeah, I have to do that. It's like 7 or 8 months later. Oh, it's happening now. Okay, great. Another good one was Caroline's, sometimes not paying attention to things. She went shopping and left, when it was summertime, I think it's hot, She went and bought some butter and put the butter in the front seat of the car and came back to find the wrapper. completely melted in the seat. That car smelled like an expired carton of milk for years. And I would tell Caroline, you gotta clean that, you gotta take that to clean. Yeah, I'll get to that. It was like, seriously, 2 years later, she finally cleaned the car. Oh my God, drove us crazy, drove everybody crazy. I'll get on it. But you know, those are all funny things about Caroline. But you know, one thing that I think we can all agree on is she always saw the best in people. I don't know how she could do that, because I'm the opposite. I always see the worst in people, and they had to convince otherwise. Maybe it's just me getting old, but she was always the kind of person who always saw the best in people. I don't know how she did it. You know, even though it's like, yeah, I know, but always. She had such devotion to her friends and family. She would do anything for her friends and family. She always made sure that everybody else's needs were met before her own. Everyone's good, everyone's comfortable, was fed, you know, before she worried about herself. Always. She had unwavering loyalty to people. And I know I've been reading some of the comments that people have sent in, and it's one thing that made me reflect with you. I guess I thought about it, but she had a smile that would light up a room when she walked in. Yeah. And you can look around this room right now. The number of people are here today. There's a testament to who she was. And we're here for her, not for anything else, right? And that tells you something. She was terribly unphotogenic. I don't know if you've seen some pictures of Caroline, but there's some nasty ones out there. Her face is contorted, or she's half her eyes closed. She was terrible at taking pictures. Hopefully there's some out there, but Caroline's photogenic ability is just awful, awful. But she also, you know, I wouldn't call them faults, it just made her who she were, but one thing later, you know, on in life that we noticed was her dedication to Alice, my mother. She did take my meal, took my mother and after my father to death, and did everything to help her and make sure she was safe and comfortable. And she lived for her daughter. She lived for Alice, everything she did. She was a fiercely protective mother. She did everything for Alice to make sure she was healthy and happy, and taught her about good and right and wrong, and guided her. And that was her guiding light for Caroline, was Alice's well-being, making sure that her little girl was always safe and taken care of. And back to that unwavering loyalty. Now, even though we're here today for this particular event, this celebration, this doesn't end today. It doesn't end for any of you today. We have to continue celebrating your legacy through stories and laughter and silly things you used to do. So when we walk out here, it's not over. It's just starting. We especially have to do that for that little girl right there. She needs to know who her mother was, how much she meant to her, and always will. We want Alice to remember who Caroline was and know who she was. That can't go away. We need your help for that. I guess I'd just like to finish by saying thank you so much for I know we had a GoFundMe for Alice, and your donations they topple us, your generosity, what you've done, and it's going to help Alice out in her future. And I don't know, we don't have words to express how humbled we are in taking in all of your generosity. And again, we thank you very much for being here, and we'll talk some more after.
I think I do this for I think most of the time. So I have the honor of being Caroline's sister from another mother. Marrying into the Bernard family not only got me a husband, a devoted second set of parents, and a lovely little sister. And today I'm going to share with you some words of friends and family who couldn't be with us today. I appreciate so much the fact that you have allowed me to be with you through this note because I cannot be present today at Caroline's celebration. I met her only a few months after she was born, and I cannot accept that she is gone. She had a future ahead of her and an adorable daughter to raise. A person full of good virtues that her mother, my best friend for life, knew how to teach her. I want you to know that my heart is broken in her absence. Margarita, Paul, Sharon, and Alice, I send you the biggest of hugs and all my love. Nilta. just how beautiful a soul Caroline was. Thoughtful, compassionate, goofy at times, genuine, and very loved. She is the wind, the sea, the birds that fly, how she has loved nature. The world was better with her in it. Alice was her heart. We will miss her. I am shocked to hear of Caroline's passing. She was such a beautiful soul. She had a wonderful sense of adventure, and I cherish the times I spent with her, Diana. Caroline was an amazing teacher that I will miss. Fran. So important to take the time to reflect and celebrate such a beautiful person, Haley. Caroline, you're our bright light, a loving spirit, and will forever be remembered and missed. Valerie. We also recently received quite an honor from Royal Roads University, which many of you know, Caroline was just finishing up her master's in education. The letter is from the Vice President and Chancellor, the President and Vice Chancellor. Dear Margarita, Paul, Sharon, Alice, and family, I'm very sorry for your loss. There are no adequate words for this tragedy. Caroline was a tremendous positive spirit and will be loved during her time at the university. To honor Caroline's life and her work, we have worked with the Masters in Environmental Education and Communication program to create an award in her name to empower other women to continue her research around environmental education, hope, resiliency, and children. On behalf of the entire Royal Roads community, we offer our heartfelt condolences. The flag at Hatley Castle will be lowered to half-mast on June 16th as we join your family in celebrating with friends and family the life of Caroline. The other honor is her soccer team, the Shooters, have graciously been continuing her work to support MAD Canada and will be they're currently finalizing plans with the City of Courtenay and MAD Canada to run the run again this year on November 27th. When things are finalized, I will send them out for anybody who would like to take part in the run walk.
Well, this is going to be really hard for me, but so I always start by saying to people that the family or friends is really the family that you choose. And when I immigrated here in Canada in 1999, I had a wonderful opportunity to be part of the Bernard family. See, it's different because when you come from a different country and you come to a country where you have nothing, and you have a family that embrace you and take you in like you were one more of them, is a feeling that you don't feel every day. I consider that Caroline to be my little sister forever. Gosho to be my father in Canada forever. Margarita to be my mom for the rest of my life. And of course, Paul. I couldn't choose a better family, really. That's the reality. I could have gone anywhere else, or somebody could have opened many doors, but that family chose me, and it was really a great feeling. 22 years of being part of this family, and hopefully they help me for the rest of our lives. I'm a tough one to deal with, so I know the feeling. So I'm going to tell you, when they told me, Guillermo, you want to say a few words, I said, well, I have so many words to say about Caroline, really. So many stories, so many good memories. It was really hard for me to really pick one or two that can describe what I feel about her. So after putting a lot of thought, I said, I'm going to tell you a story, how Caroline really saved my life. But also a story about that shows the character and some of the things that Paul said on his speech. So, yeah, there's a photo of me, of Caroline. Caroline's coming next, as you saw. And the reason why I have this photo in front of me was because I don't remember anything of this day. If it wasn't because Caroline decided that wanted to go for a photography day with me and really take that photo from me, from her camera, I wouldn't really have a memory of this day. And let me tell you why, and then we'll switch over to the picture of Caroline. In 2015, I was having a really hard time, probably the hardest time I ever had in my life. Everybody goes through something in life. That was my lowest so far. I got to the point where I was severely mentally sick. I didn't want to even get out of my house. I didn't even want to leave, to be honest with you. It got so bad that one day I ended up in the hospital, in the psychiatric unit. And as you know, those are not really fun times, right? And you know, obviously I had a lot of angels in my life. As you know, as you go through life, you meet bad people. Really one of the reasons we're here today. You meet really good people. But sometimes you meet angels. And this is what happened to me that day. So Caroline showed up. And when I say showed up, she showed up. This was spring break in 2015. Caroline and Roger, they were planning holidays together to go somewhere. Obviously, I mean, it's your free time, they're teachers. They knew exactly what they needed to do, they needed a break. But they found out that I was in the hospital and her brother needed some help. Her Canadian brother needed some help. And to my amazement, there I am in the hospital. And I see from in the distance, I don't know if you've ever been there, hopefully never been there, but there's glasses so that you can see people going by. I don't know why they put glasses in those rooms, because it's really horrible. Because you feel like you're in a cage, really. And I see her face, and I love this photo because she had the same expression, that silly expression that she does at the time, like this, right? And I just felt the warmth of feeling protected for a long time. Anyway, she came in, she said, Guillermo, ¿qué te pasa? What's going on with you? ¿Qué te pasa, boludo? Like Paulo was saying, right? There's another application of the word. And obviously here and I, we always talk in Spanish, we never actually talk in English. And I says, you know, Caroline, I have no idea what's happening with me, but I'm having a hard time seeing the next step. And she said to me, Guillermo, déjate de joder, you know? Stop with this bullshit. Let's do something. Show me how to take photographs, she said. And well, what's a weird thing to say, right? Like, I'm in the psychiatric unit, right? And Caroline comes to me and says, Guillermo, show me how to take photographs. Yeah? For those of you who know, I've been taking photographs since Hannah's age, number 9. So you know what, I says, you know, I really want you to teach me how to take photographs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with you to your house, and I'm going to stay there for as long as you need me. And I'm going, okay, well, she really wants to learn how to take photographs, right? And, you know, obviously, I didn't remember much of this day, but obviously after everything got better, I realized that she actually moved to my house to be with someone who was having a hard time. She was my angel, really. She didn't have to be there. I had a lot of people that came and stayed with me and they took me out. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of people that helped me out. A lot of angels that they also went through my life. But I don't know, for some reason that felt a bit different. It's like she stayed there for 2 weeks while I was literally just in the couch looking at the ceiling and not wanting to go anywhere. She took the effort to take me out every day and basically tell me, Guillermo, you need to teach me how to take photographs. And I'm going, man, what a commitment to, you know, I'll be asking this to a guy who's, you know, really doesn't want to leave, right? So anyway, so this is the day. I don't remember the day, honestly. I'm glad that I had this photo. This is the day that I found later on that we actually walk. And she told me a few months after when I was a little better, and we walk about 25 kilometers that day. 25 kilometers, right? Taking photos of nothing really. I mean, I don't even remember what photos I took, to be honest with you. But anyway, so this is why I remember Caroline, because this is the kind of woman that she was. She was a woman who, Paul said it really well, was willing to think in you first and her second. And she was really my angel. Let us sink that for a second. She was really an angel. Anyway, so that's the first story I want to tell you. There's something that I learned, and I'm pretty sure Karen is watching us. I'd like to tell you today, be someone's angel, at least once in your life. Be someone's angel. It makes a difference. At least it did to me. I'm here today. The other one was a little bit of a great story because I never met the guy. But one day I was talking to Karen, this is years ago. I said, you know, Guillermo, I met this guy. He's a really old guy who went to war, right? And I've been going through. He lived in a trailer park in Nanaimo. And Karen and I used to go there. I would say probably 2 or 3 times per week, Margarita, 2 or 3 times per week, and I spent a lot of time with this person, listen to his stories, and listen to all the stuff that he was saying, and basically mowing his lawn, and helping him out with food. She was spending a lot of money in books, and things like that. And so anyway, the story is that one day I talked to her about this, and because I'm like Paul a bit, I don't tend to see the best in people the first time around, right? I tend to see the other way around. I'm a bit skeptical when I meet someone. So I said to her, why do you do this? I said in Spanish, ¿por qué haces esto, Karen? Why do you do this? And she said, ¿por qué no? She said, ¿por qué no? Why not? And that to me is stuck as a lesson of my life. A lesson that I always remember for the rest of my life. Which is this. She used to give everyone, and when I say everyone, a blank slate. All the time. Didn't really matter if you were black, white, disabled, able, not able, anything. It meant nothing to her. What it means is that you're a human being, and you as a human being deserve the time. And she gave you that blank slate. So there's one message that I really want you to remember from her tonight is that give that blank slate to someone, because I think that's a good way to live. It's a perfectly awesome way to live. The other, and I'm going to close by saying this because since we're on the boludo theme, Paul, the one thing that you forgot is boludo also means when you fall in love with someone and they tell you, man, you're a boludo because estás enamorado de esta persona. It means, yeah, you're a boludo because you're in love with this person. And let me tell you this, if Caroline was here today, they will tell you, all of you are boludos for being in love with her. And she will laugh about that, So before I go, I'm going to ask you to do something for me and for Caroline. I'm going to ask you to stand up. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and take 1 minute and really think about that smile. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa. I'm Alice's auntie, one of several aunties that she has. And I wanted to talk today, excuse me, I'm not quite that short, about the amazing auntie that Caroline was to our kids. And being an auntie is such an important role, and she totally rocked it. When someone is gone, the memories that remain become even more valuable as it's realized that there won't be more moments to add to the story. We are here to celebrate Caroline's life. The moments held are of those that illustrate her love for her family and friends. The memories that shine so bright when I think of Caroline are the way that she embraced her auntie role with her nieces and nephew, Malika, Eamon, and Callie. We are ever grateful for how her presence shaped their rituals and identities over a period of several years in such positive ways. A few memories that we'll always hold dearest are her beach combing and cousins' weekends on the Gabriola and Hornby beaches, guitar playing and searching for treasures. She could often be found singing and reading to the kids, and we could never be as awesome as she was at getting the kids to hone their soccer skills in the backyard and on the fields for their games. Halloween is coming, and she was always ready to host. It was one of our favorite times of the year. And the kids' favorite, I can still see their faces lighting up, is when she came down the stairs as Princess Leia from Star Wars. It was perfect. Kids are really smart. They know when they are seen, and Caroline saw them and appreciated them. She took the time to get to know their favorite things and to cheer them on. She made them fantastic birthday cakes and came bearing super fun gifts. The way her eyes would light up and her arms would open for hugs when she saw them will always be with us and with the kids. Caroline's life mattered so much to so many, as evidenced here today, and I know that our collective memories will give strength to her family in the hard times ahead. Dear Caroline, we didn't get to finish the story where our kids had years of play and fun with you, where laughter reigned. We wish that we had more time for them to be with you and to learn from you. They felt your gorgeous spirit and are feeling the loss of one of their people so deeply. They will all remember you and your sweet spirit. We see you in Alice and will care for her with the same 100% love that you showed to her cousins as they grew. I know that all of us that love and care for Alice will live each day to meet your expectations for her care. We can never replace you, always Alice's mama, and the memories made with our kids will be shared with Alice as she grows. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and a warm welcome to all of you here today. I'm Alan Halverson. I taught school with Caroline at Ballina Secondary in Parksville. It's been very difficult after what has transpired not to be filled with hate and revengeful thoughts, and trying not to seems to be an exercise in futility. But we must not be dragged into that and tempted to go there. Our God, our Creator of whatever faith you follow or believe in, have we been told, is a forgiving God. But be warned at the end, I'm sure is a just God as well. Believing in this should free us to go on with our life, seeing the good in people. Unfortunately, this doesn't free us from experiencing the heartache that follows a tragic loss like this. But it frees us to go on enjoying our friendships, time with family, the wonders of Mother Nature. It frees us, of course, to go on enjoying the precious memories we have of our friend Caroline, the person whose life we are here to celebrate today. To the Bernard family, we are very sorry for your loss. Let us not make the mistake of having the joy of living and our memories of our dear friend be spoiled by hate. I've always managed to be quite a happy person, not today, and have been blessed with a wonderful life of lots of good times, and I'm thankful for this every day. I'm a happy person, I believe, mostly because I've always made an effort to surround myself with people I like, people that make me happy, people that bring me joy, to be around them. And lucky for me, Caroline was one of those people that crossed my path. When she joined our staff as a rookie, she showed an interest in helping with the climbing wall. I was very grateful for that offer, and she was also very comfortable in the outdoors, an avid hiker. Soon Caroline became a valuable asset for the outdoor adventures with my students, but not for the reasons you might think. Now, why in the world would I ask her to join us on a surfing adventure when she sucked at surfing? Because believe it or not, she got seasick sitting on her surfboard while bobbing around in the ocean. Caroline had to paddle to shore to barf her guts out behind a log on the beach on a beautiful sunny day. Her nice brown complexion turning a whiter shade of pale and green. She told me she always felt bad, a disappointment to her parents for being born into a seafaring family and being prone to seasickness to a point where they had to fly her to the next sailing destination. Now, why in the world would I ask her to join us for a powder hounding session in the mountains when she couldn't ski worth beans? She ruled the bunny hill all right, but not exactly a downhiller. Why would I ask her to come climbing when a 5'8" was a bit of a challenge? Why? Well, I'll tell you the honest truth, because she was one of the kindest, sweetest, caring souls I have ever met. I knew she would have a huge influence on my kids. And as soon as they rubbed shoulders with her, the students recognized the calm sincerity in her nature instantly. It was obvious, pardon me, I'm sorry. It was obvious she was friendly and approachable, and around her I could see the students made a concerted effort to show her kinder, sweeter, caring side of themselves too. That contribution that she made to the success of our adventures was worth far more than showing off like a Lise Anderson surfing pro or munching powder like a crazy Canuck or climbing a cliff like a Sherpa. Having that kind of influence on teenagers is like healing magic. It's far-reaching, and certainly the most important part of these trips to change lives for the better. And of course, having some fun too. And she contributed to that as well. I think some of them, for many of them, it was the first time they discovered that there was a side of themselves that they liked very much. When it finally surfaced, discovered how good it felt to be a kind, sweet person like her. Her good nature was truly an amazing testimonial to how enjoyable life can be if you decide to be a good person. To tell you the truth, I was a little jealous because my niceness was being outshined by her sweetness. And these trips, I kind of enjoyed being the grand poobah in that department. Something else, and maybe not a very nice thing to do to someone as likable as Caroline, but so hard to resist because it was so easily accomplished. She was very trusting to a point that some might have seen her as being a little gullible, easily duped, or naive. But they would be so wrong in that assessment. I could tell her the most outrageous and so obvious to the known world, big exaggerated fib. And her response would be a caring, concerned, puzzled look, and really, is that true? What can I do to help that situation? Oh, I'm so sympathetic. Wow, really? Then after enjoying her dupability a little bit, say, Caroline, I can't believe you thought that what I just told you could possibly be true. She would laugh at herself, but with the difference, not feeling foolish in the least for being sucked in again, laughing at herself because that's who I am and that's who I will always be. She knew she was trusting. She knew she always had faith in people to be truthful. And being duped so easily reminded her of a side of herself she liked very much. I am sweet and innocent and trusting, and I like that part of my personality. She wasn't upset with me for teasing her. She was kind of glad that that side of her was so obvious to others around her that she didn't mind. We all loved her for being just that, maybe wishing we would be a little more like her. What an example she was setting, what a precious soul. This was not to suggest that she was anybody's fool. Caroline liked to run at Rathtrevor. She would go down and park in the San Periel entrance. After work in the winter months, that meant doing the Terry Fox run in the dark. When she finished the run and came back out to the road where she was parked one evening, there was a police car sitting in the dark. After she got into her vehicle, he pulled up behind her and shut his lights off and came up and rapped on the window. Get out of the car, please. No, I won't. It's dark, we're at the end of the road, and you're a man. Excuse me, the officer told her, and was quite demanding. I'm a police officer, and I'm telling you get out of the car right now. This is not a choice. No, I won't. Call another cop to join us. I'm staying right here in my car with the doors locked and the windows rolled up. I went, Caroline, you told the cop to bug off, you little gangsta. Then I thought, way to go, girl, you were exactly right to hold your ground. This was not to suggest that the officer had any ill intentions. But as a woman, if you feel uncomfortable, take a stand. And she did. I was shocked, but very proud of her. This was a different side of Caroline that I knew, but I loved it. He got in his patrol car and drove away. When new teachers are looking for advice in the classroom management, I always tell them about the 3 rule. You have to be nice to a student 3 times before you can lower the boom once. I mean, before you can correct their objectionable behavior through positive feedback once. And the 3 rule works. Well, Caroline took this advice a little further and gave it her own little twist. If Halverson has success with be nice, let him have it once, then think of the triumphs I will have in the classroom if I be nice to them 20 times and then ask them politely to correct their objectionable behavior once. Let's just say new teachers to the profession stick to the 3 rule. It takes a whole community to raise a child. We all know this. And now we have Alice to take care of it. So how can we help? Let's see. Find out when her birthday is and send her a card. Remember her at Christmas and other holidays. Contribute to her education fund. If she's in your classroom, give her all the extra attention you can muster. She can grow up happy. She can grow up successfully in a world she loves to live in and be a part of. She will always be remembered. Her mom's love has given her a great start. We can help her along the rest of the way. Her family needs our help too. We want them to know we are here today to share some of the burden of their loss. We wish we could turn back the clock. We can't. And sometimes the most difficult thing to understand from all of this is that life will go on without our friend. Look around. All of us here, we're good people. And pardon me. And it's so satisfying to see that all of us have taken the time to meet and support each other, and especially Caroline's family. We want them to know she made an impression on us, and they are not alone in their grief. Good friends we've had and good friends we've lost along the way. On behalf of the teachers in the district, the word GoFundMe for your education has raised a great deal of money. Going to university for you is a good thing. I heard you're a smart little cookie. We love you, sweetheart. And all of us will miss your mom too. And I have something for you. I'll put it on the table, and you can pick it up later when there aren't so many people watching. This was painted by the hereditary Grand Chief, Cecil Dawson. He's the head chief of the Mountain Goat Hunting Clan and the Wolf Clan of the Kwakwaka'wakwa people. There's 2 ravens. There's you and the spirit of your mom. It will be with you forever. The greatest gift a chief can bestow on someone is honoring them with a paddle to help them through their journey in life. So this is for you, dear.
Before I start, I think we all need a big deep breath. I know I do. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Britt Hansen. I was a teacher of Caroline for 10 years, and for the last few years, Caroline's been one of my best friends. I might butcher this, Paul. I don't know you personally, but I've heard a lot about you. And it's so nice to hear such beautiful stories shared about Caroline, and for me to hear those stories previously from Caroline's perspective. There's some minor details missing, but mostly for the best. Caroline always tried to teach me Spanish swear words too, Paul. I am terrible at other languages, and she'd consistently make fun of me just butchering her language, to the point where we almost couldn't be friends at times. Really? Really? I told you that one 20 times. Balula? Yeah. I say this with love, Paul, and, not the other meanings of the word, but you don't have much hair. So when Caroline said, when he said she made you feel like pulling out your hair, that must have been 20 years prior. I hope I'm not being a balula. So I was still hoping as I walked up here that this day wasn't a real day in my life or in any of your lives. That this was some alternate, incredibly painful reality that I was leaving soon. But in the chance it wasn't, and it seems to be that way, I knew that I had to share how I saw our beautiful friend Caroline. She was a daughter and sister and a mother, and we all miss her so deeply. Again, I can only speak from my experience knowing Caroline, and hope that everyone here today was lucky enough to see that all that I could see when I looked at Caroline, or was fortunate enough to be in her presence. Caroline and I met 10 years ago when I was hired at Nines I was a new teacher, and Caroline was young and vibrant, and I was instantly drawn to her boundless energy. Over the years, we worked together on and off at different locations throughout the district, and we loved to run on our lunch breaks together. We talked all day, every day, at the expense of our work, and eventually we found ourselves pregnant at the same time. We shared the joys and fears of becoming moms every day, and our relationship was exponentially strengthened throughout the wild ride that is motherhood. I remember visiting Caroline after she had Alice, and I was about halfway through my pregnancy, and Caroline was just a few weeks into having Alice. I was naive and optimistic about birth and feeding and mostly about sleep. And she never lied to me about the realities of first-time motherhood. Caroline was the most honest person I've ever met. But she did redirect every single question that I asked and let me hold Alice as a distraction from my endless queries. She smiled and nodded a lot. And after I had my son, we looked back on that visit and couldn't stop laughing. Caroline said, "I couldn't tell you how effing hard it was in that moment, and I knew you would come out on top regardless." So I just smiled. Caroline was there for me in ways that words could not express when I wasn't feeling on top. She made me laugh hysterically at times when I thought I may never smile again, just like a Shermo. And that was her gift in life, and she didn't even know it. She had an unwavering ability to see light in darkness and to find it within others. In 2019, we worked in this crappy, tiny broom closet, like room out of Cumberland School together, just the two of us. We were both recently separated with young children, young toddlers, and every aspect of our lives felt all-encompassing and overwhelming. During this time, Caroline and I would joke around daily about making a TV series about our poor life choices. We had way too much content for two women who hadn't reached middle age. Caroline had a wild sense of humor and was always a little on the dark side, and her hysterical laugh and enthusiasm could not be matched. If you ever texted with Caroline, then you know that she was the queen of memes. She used to send me haikus as well. For those of you unfamiliar with a haiku, it's 5 syllables, then 7, and then 5 again. And we would make haikus all the time together about our life trajectories, but try and make it sound cute and light in the form of a poem. A favorite of Caroline's was, "I am so tired. Where did all my money go? My back is hurting." Pretty fitting for lots of us, I'm sure. I wrote a haiku for Caroline today. "I miss you, my friend. You will live on through Alice. We will help her grow." As you all know, Caroline cared about so many things. She was a fierce advocate for the environment. She was a soccer fanatic. She ran with a vengeance on any given day and pushed me to the point of puking, which we both loved. Her family was unfortunately and passionately involved in MAD after her dad's tragic passing, and she helped to build a school for her dad in Mexico through the Kanda Foundation. She was a caring teacher with such charisma to offer her students each day, and above all else, she was a mother. She was Alice's beautiful mother. Over the last 5 years, nothing else mattered to her. She still cared about all those other things we fill our lives with that end up punctuating our personalities. But now she cared because of Alice and the world she wanted for her daughter. Caroline would want Alice raised with community and calm and laughter. She had so many hopes and dreams for the future for Alice, yet what I always admired most was Caroline's ability to be fully present in moments that seem inconsequential, but they add up to become one's life. She soaked up every ounce of Alice's baby and toddler years. Sorry, it's hard being a mom myself. I'm sure many of you are feeling the same right now. Her love for Alice was endless, and I believe it transcends this lifetime and her presence here on earth. One of my greatest joys in life so far was being able to share the roller coaster of motherhood with Caroline. The daily grind and a love so deep for our children. We could never explain it, but we knew that the other felt it too. Motherhood's hard and messy and challenging beyond belief at times. And Caroline gave me permission to share all of motherhood and life freely with her, without judgment and with the utmost love and support. I can't bring myself to say goodbye because I feel her presence so vividly each day. I can hear her voice almost all the time. She was both a voice of reason, empathy, and understanding, with an underlying tone of, but take no shit. And I really, really, really love that about her. A lifetime in Caroline's presence would never be enough. I love you, my friend, until we meet again.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing your memories of Caroline. Before we move into our closing of the celebration today by sharing the video, I just, on behalf of the Bernard family, want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today and for sharing your special memories of Caroline. And similar to what Paul said earlier, for continuing to keep her spirit and her memory with you always. We invite you all to stay briefly following this service to share your own stories of Caroline with each other, but please be sure to follow the health protocols and keep your masks on and physically distant. The Bernard family would have loved to have hosted a reception today, but were unable to because of COVID. Instead, they've provided a small treat at the table at the back to take on your way out. They're after eights, which was Caroline's favorite. Thank you again for being with us today and for all of the support that you've shown the family. We also wanted to thank you for your generous donation to Alice's Education Fund in lieu of sending flowers. And before we start the video, I just wanted to share a short poem. It's called She Is Gone by David Harkins. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of love, the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she's gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would have wanted. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. Thank you.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined the don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? One touching one